Today we will learn about creating new documents from custom settings. Okay. While selecting a preset can sometimes be useful, the most common way to create a new Photoshop document is by entering your own custom settings into the preset detail panel. Let's have a look at setting the width and height. If I want to create, say, a 13 by 19 inch document, all I need to do is set the width to 13 inch and the height to 19 inches. I am using inches here as an example, but you can click the measurement type box and choose other measurement types as well, like pixels, centimeters, millimeters and more. To change the orientation of the document, click either the portrait or landscape buttons. This swaps the width and height values as needed. Here we can change resolution. Resolution is the fineness of detail in a bitmap image and is measured in pixels per inch (ppi) or dot per inch (dpi). The more pixels per inch, the greater the resolution. Generally, an image with a higher resolution produces a better printed image quality. Here we can set the background color of the document. The default background color of a new Photoshop document is white, but you can choose a different color from the background contents option. At first, it will look like you can only choose white, black or the current background color. But if you scroll down, you will see that you can also choose a transparent background or select custom to choose a color from Photoshop's color picker. Clicking the color swatch to the right of the drop-down box will also open the color picker so you can choose a custom background color. Here we can set the color modes for our new document. The first color mode is bitmap. The bitmap is used when you need only white and black color, not even the slightest part of gray is allowed. It is just 1 bit per channel, so if you are using 16 or 32 bit per channel image, you need to convert an image fast to 8 bit per channel. This works perfectly when you are dealing with a high contrast image like a text document. You can make the text appear bolder and clear once you convert the image to bitmap mode from RGB mode. Next is grayscale. In this mode, black, white and gray are allowed. This mode is just an adjusted form of bitmap mode. 8 bits grayscale mode contains 256, 16 bits grayscale mode contains 65,536 and 32-bit grayscale mode contains, that is 429,496,7296 sets. Next is RGB. This is a universal mode which your desktop and camera use. RGB stands for red, green and blue. So it shows colors as a mixture of red, green and blue on a scale of 0 to 255, that is 256 sets. So total color that you can achieve is 256 into 256 into 256, that is 16777,216, around 16 million colors. For example, a pure red has an RGB value of R equal to 255, B equal to 0 and G equal to 0. This mode is basically called as digital color mode. Next comes CMYK. This mode is used in printers, whether in inkjet, commercial or digital press. CMYK stands for cyan, magenta, yellow and black. This mode has lesser sets than RGB, and whenever you switch from RGB to CMYK, you will see that little bit color fades away. This is the only reason printer prints a less vivid image as compared to what we see on our desktop. This mode is known as printing standard color mode. The last one is lab color. This mode is based on how human eyes can see a color regardless of the mode RGB, CMYK, etc. It eliminates all the colors that human eye cannot detect. This mode may look so promising, but its biggest advantage is its biggest disadvantage. Sometimes you will struggle to create a color that you want in this mode, as this mode limits color. In this panel, you can see advanced options. And finally, if you will open the advanced option, you will find settings for the document's color profile and pixel aspect ratio. You can safely leave this at the defaults. In my previous class, I told you about older version of new dialog box. Let's see how can we use the older one in the Adobe Photoshop 2021. Up to now, we have been using the newer, larger version, but there is also a smaller, more streamlined version, and I personally like it better. Adobe calls the smaller version the Legacy New Dialog Box because it's what we used until the newer version came along. To switch to the Legacy version on a Windows PC, go up to the Edit menu, choose Preferences, and then choose General. In the Preferences dialog box, select the option that says Use Legacy New Document Interface and then click OK to close the dialog box. Then create a new document by going up to the File menu and choosing New. And this time we see the Legacy New Document dialog box with all the same settings but in a more compact, streamlined design. If you prefer the newer version, just go back to Photoshop's Preferences and deselect the Use Legacy New Document Interface option. In the next lesson, we will learn the more common way to create a new document in Photoshop, which is to open an existing